I moved into Unit 503 because it was cheap. Thin walls, a hallway that always smelt damp. The first week was fine. Then I began hearing a note at night. A pure, thin eee, like someone circling a wet finger around the rim of a wine glass. It would swell, stop, and start again from somewhere else. Kitchen, hall, inside my skull. I didn't even own a wine glass. At least, I didn't think I did. On moving day, I ducked into a thrift shop under the tracks and bought a few things I might need. A single wine glass was wrapped in brown paper. Tall, thin, too elegant for the price. I shoved it into the cupboard and forgot it. After the ringing woke me again, I opened that cupboard. The wine glass was on the counter. I told myself I'd left it there. I washed it and put it back. The ringing stopped for 3 nights. On the 4th night, it returned, louder, steady, like a scream that never runs out of breath. When I grabbed the glass, it was cold. The inside smelled sweet, like red wine, and underneath, like pennies. At the base, a name was scratched so lightly, it only appeared when the light hit it. Mizuho. I don't know any Mizuho. At 2:17 a.m., the note started again and didn't stop. My teeth ached. The sound was coming from the glass, even while it sat behind the cupboard door, as if the wood couldn't keep it in. Without thinking, I filled it with water. Silence. Instant. I stared into the bowl, watching my shaking hands distort through the liquid. That's when I saw the corridor. In the curved reflection, my kitchen behind me stretched into a long hallway that didn't exist. The light faded halfway down. At the far end stood a woman. Her arms were too long. Her smile was too still, and she held a wine glass at her chest like she was waiting for a toast. I spun around. No corridor, no woman, just my real kitchen. I looked back into the glass. She was closer. Tiny ripples trembled across the water, as if something had breathed inside it. I dumped the water out. The ringing snapped back, sharper, angry. I don't know why I did it next. Panic, maybe. I poured wine. A half-open bottle from a moving box. Dark red. Thick. The ringing softened, almost pleased. In the wine, the corridor sharpened. Peeling wallpaper. Damp stains. Smears on the walls like handprints dragged along. The woman raised her glass, and then my own glass tilted toward my mouth. My hand wasn't moving. I swear it. The rim touched my lips. I tasted wine, then metal, like blood. I jerked back, and the glass snapped upright, spilling 1 drop onto the counter. The drop didn't spread. It beaded, then crept toward the edge, leaving a thin red line, as if it knew where down was. I tried to break the wine glass in the sink. It didn't crack. It just rang, louder than before. My nose started bleeding. Somewhere in the note, I heard shape in the noise, like words forced through glass. Drink. Back. I wrapped it in a towel and threw it into the recycling bin downstairs. For the first time in days, I slept. I woke up at 6:03 a.m. with my mouth tasting like old wine. On the box beside my bed sat the wine glass. Clean, unwrapped, unbroken. half full. Beside it was a wet ring, and in that ring, 5 long fingerprints, too narrow to be mine. I went to my neighbor, an old man in 504, who watched the hallway like he was guarding it. I told him about the ringing. He only asked, "Did you drink from it?" Then he whispered, "A girl named Mizuho disappeared here before the renovation. People said she was kept somewhere behind the walls where no one could hear her." He looked past me down the hall like he expected it to move. "When something can't scream," he said, "it learns to ring." That night I tried to leave, bag packed, door open. The ringing wasn't in my unit anymore. It was in the hallway. Every door along the corridor vibrated softly, like the whole floor had become a single wine glass. At the far end, under the emergency exit, a thin red line seeped out. Slow, deliberate, crawling. The exit light flickered once. For that half second, the wall at the end of the hall looked deeper, like an open mouth. And inside it, I saw the reflected corridor. Peeling wallpaper, damp stains, handprints. A woman, smiling, raising her glass. My last voice message is 13 seconds long. You can hear the ringing. You can hear me sobbing. And right at the end, close to the microphone, there's a wet, pleased whisper. "Thank you for remembering." If you ever hear a wine glass ring in an empty room, don't look for the source. It already found you.
If you found this a scary story, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It really helps the channel out. See you guys next time.